Evacuations are happening in southwestern Colorado. Folks in areas between Ouray and Ridgway are being told to get to higher ground because of what's being called active, intense flooding. That flooding has also made Red Mountain Pass too dangerous to cross. This is around the Gold Mountain Fire burn scar, one of at least 2 other burned over areas seeing flash flooding in Colorado right now. Thanks for being here. I'm Kyle Clark.
I'm Kim Christensen. This is a look at the town of Beulah from the Pueblo County Sheriff's Office. A flash flood emergency for the Aspen Acres burn scar just ended. Our Colton Chavez was there before this fresh round of rain fell. He shows us how people are dealing with one weather emergency after another.
In the town of Bula,
this just came out of nowhere.
Families whose homes survived the Aspen Acres fire found themselves once again bracing for disaster.
The rain stopped, but I still heard the noise. So I'm like, where is that coming from?
That sound coming from an intense storm that triggered local flooding just outside of Kelly House property.
It had overflowed the street here and overflowed onto Pine Drive over down there. I did not expect this. I expected potentially some flooding, but not this much water, no.
Fire officials say this is what happens in burn scars. Intense rain hits the ground stripped bare by wildfire, and the water, soil, and debris come rushing down like wet concrete. And you can see all of this black mud and dirt that's left behind from that flood. Kelly says the water raised up so high that it completely washed out this road, an area where during the Aspen Acres fire, several of her neighbors' homes were destroyed, leaving it unrecognizable.
Well, I mean, it's hard to describe, you know.
Kelly says it's hard to know what the coming days will look like.
But we don't know.
But what she knows for sure is this town will always be home.
None of us really know what's going to happen. I mean, we're just doing the best we can.
In Beulah, Colton Chavez, 9 News.
Team Rubicon, a group that responds to disasters and crises around the world, is in southern Colorado. The Custer County Sheriff's Office says the team showed up at the right time this afternoon after local officials discovered a home that survived last night's flood but was in danger of tonight's rainfall. Armed with chainsaws, the crew hiked down a hill from the highway and quickly chopped up the debris.
Good people right there.
Mm-hmm. And they need all the help they can get right now because, Kathy, these rainstorms are coming in the afternoon, the monsoon.
Yeah, and we've got rain ongoing in that area as we speak and more rain expected in that area tomorrow. We've gone from one extreme to the other. In Denver, the showers have come to an end, but it was a day of heavy flooding rain over Douglas County with a flash flood warning posted there. 1 to 4 inches of rain fell, and that had impacts as far north out of Douglas County up to DIA with a ground stop for a while. Some storms had wind and hail, others just gentle showers and a cooler weather trend. We're sitting in the 60s this evening. It's beautiful with all this moisture in the atmosphere, high humidity. We love to see that. There's an air quality alert that goes out through 4 o'clock tomorrow. We do still see those heavy showers down south. Most of the activities ended in Denver, but I'm watching these showers around Evergreen, Conifer, and Bailey. They're tracking east. That I-76 corridor from Fort Morgan and Sterling out to North Platte, still some thunder, lightning, and heavy rain. This is the rain that fell 1 to 4 inches again from Castle Pines, Castle Rock up into the Parker area, just to the east of DIA, east of Keensburg up into Fort Morgan. And tonight, flash flood warnings remain in effect. Still a lot of heavy rain coming down around Colorado City, Walsenburg, Pueblo, and La Junta. We have Lake County and also Rio Blanco County that are dealing with some flooding concerns as well from heavy rain that fell throughout the afternoon. The Aspen Acres burn scar, we're seeing that warning now cancel out, but the flood watch continues down to the New Mexico line late into the night. Denver's done with the rain, I think, for tonight, but we have a chance for a few more showers tomorrow. I'll have the timing and impact of that coming up in just a bit.
A fire that started west of Sedalia over the weekend is now fully contained. The Penley fire burned about 3 acres in Douglas County. All evacuation orders and warnings are now lifted. Firefighters are going to stick around in the area over the coming days just to keep an eye on things.
The rain proved to help fire crews who are battling the 7th largest wildfire in state history. Containment is up to 66% for the Aspen Acres fire. It's been holding steady at 61% for more than a week now. The fire has burned more than 100,000 acres, about 160 square miles across Pueblo and Custer counties. People in the devastated town of Beulah, we've been talking about Beulah, are returning to another problem: no running water. Some areas are under bottled water advisories. That's a step further than a boil water notice.
The state has given us a series of tests and cleanings and various things that we have to do before we can get up and provide water again, even in ideal conditions. And we are not facing ideal conditions.
When the fire destroyed homes, it opened up the water taps to the elements, letting water run out and allow ash to go into it. Fixing all of that takes a lot of time and money. A West Metro firefighter is in the hospital tonight after being critically injured in a training exercise this morning.
Fell about 50 feet in steep rocky terrain west of Morrison. 9 News reporter Shalima Maharaj is along now with more on what happened. Shalima?
Good evening. Firefighter paramedic Jared Leonard is one of West Metro's technical rescue instructors. Now, he has been on the job for a very long time. He's actually called upon frequently to help train firefighters across the Front Range as well as nationally. So what happened today has come as a shock to a lot of people.
They're scouring the steep, rugged, rocky terrain.
Whenever there's a firefighter injured in any incident or training, we always look into what happened, what did people see.
At around 11 a.m. Wednesday, West Metro's technical rescue team was practicing high-angle rescue techniques near Morrison. Somehow, Jared Leonard, who's been with the department for 23 years and is one of its technical rescue instructors, fell 50 feet.
This is kind of a technique, a discipline that is inherently challenging, potentially difficult and dangerous, but that's why everyone trains on it.
West Metro Public Information Officer Rhonda Schulting says this kind of training happens often, every month.
Whether it's collapse rescue or trench rescue, that kind of thing, they're always doing that because not only is there danger to obviously the person that they are trying to rescue, but there is danger to the firefighters who are performing the rescue as well.
Schulting says there were likely between 10 and 12 firefighters around when it happened. Leonard was critically injured and had to be transported to the hospital.
Was there a equipment malfunction? Was it something else that happened? So we're looking into it and the investigation is continuing.
Now, Rhonda Schulting, who you just heard from there, says that South Metro Fire put up their drone to help out trying to get a better sense of the landscape from up above. She says that everyone is always roped in before they even approach the edge, which means that they have the whole system, carabiners included, wrapped around them. They are looking at just about everything right now to be able to determine what went wrong. Shalima Maharaj, 9 News.
Big news in Fort Morgan tonight. More than 2-month-long lockout at the Cargill beef processing facility could finally be coming to an end. Cargill stopped roughly 1,700 employees from going to work in May after union members voted down a contract. The company said the move was necessary because of the potential for a strike. In an update this week, Cargill said it met with union reps and reached a recommended settlement for a new labor agreement. We don't know the terms. The agreement still needs the approval of the union. We reached out to them for more information and haven't heard back.
CDOT is halfway there on its project to rebuild I-70 through Floyd Hill. Crews say those annoying traffic stops, they're now done along that 8-mile stretch from Evergreen to Idaho Springs. Over the past 3 years, CDOT completed more than 211 blasts and removed more than 745,000 tons of rock. One of the biggest improvements of the $900 million project, officials added a 3rd lane to help in a problem area.
It was essentially an hourglass problem on the configuration of the highway, right? And that made this a frequent choke point for accidents, for traffic delays, and just creating one of a few remaining and very challenging sections along the stretch going from Denver into the mountain.
The project will change the alignment of I-70 braiding at the bottom of Floyd Hill to straighten out the curves. It will also rebuild bridges, add a frontage road, and add new environmental mitigation. The full project completed in another 3 years by 2029.
The town of Hartman in far southeast Colorado is no longer a town. The Colorado Secretary of State's office has officially declared it abandoned. Hartman is near Holly by the Kansas border. There are fewer than 100 people who live there. The town's been in limbo since its entire board of trustees resigned earlier this year after a physical altercation at a meeting. One wrote, "I fear for my health and safety." So there are no town officials to call for an election to pick new town officials. As a result, the water bills weren't paid. There's no more safe drinking water in Hartman, so folks have been boiling water for months. The town's assets, property, and infrastructure have been transferred now to Prowers County.
The Sundance Film Festival doesn't debut in Boulder until next year, but they're already looking for their volunteers. The festival is opening up applications on Friday. They say volunteers will help support nearly every team at the 10-day event. The position comes with a lot of benefits, including film access, exclusive events, and screenings. Sundance Film Festival kicks off January 21st and runs through the 31st.